In 12th century England, the Earl of Warwick was furious because the princess was set to marry another man. He paid a witch to kill her fiancée so he could have her for himself. The fiancé, Count Thibaut Malfait, was traveling to the king's castle with his family and servant, André Lepate. Along the way, they stopped to help anyone in need, for Thibaut was a noble knight who lived by his creed, courage above all. Upon arriving, Princess Rosalind gave Thibaut a locket containing a lock of her hair as a token of love. That night, the witch poisoned her goblet with a potion that would make her see Thibaut as a monster and drive her to kill him. But during the toast, they exchanged cups, an old wedding custom, and Thibaut drank the potion instead. Seeing everyone as monsters, he lashed out in a frenzy, striking the queen and stabbing Rosalind before being restrained and locked up for execution. Hours later, André returned with a wizard disguised as a priest to gain entry for Thibaut's last rites. As André pocketed trinkets, the wizard explained he couldn't revive Rosalind, but he could send Thibaut back in time to prevent her death. After testing the potion on André, Thibaut drank it too. The wizard began his spell, but after they vanished, he realized he'd forgotten one crucial ingredient. Thibaut and André awoke in the same chamber, now a 21st century museum. Panicked, they caused chaos as Thibaut waved his sword, sending visitors fleeing. Mistaking cars for dragons, they attacked one and destroyed it before guards captured them. Their belongings were brought to Julia Malfait, head of the medieval arts department, and Rosalind's modern descendant. She was stunned that their items were genuine, even bearing her family crest. When she met them, they mistook her for the princess. André kissed her feet while Thibaut tried to kiss her lips. When guards restrained them, Thibaut shouted, "Courage is our creed." The Malfait family motto. Julia began to think he might be her long-lost French cousin whose body was never found, and whose estate she had inherited. She called her fiancé, Hunter, who pretended to care but secretly feared Thibaut's return would ruin his plan to sell the estate. Hunter only wanted Julia's fortune. His real lover was Amber. Julia and Hunter let Thibaut and André stay at her home. Overwhelmed by the modern world, the two panicked at the city's sights and sounds. Meanwhile, in the 12th century, guards broke into Thibaut's room, but the wizard escaped to the future just in time. Back in the present, Julia introduced Thibaut and André to Hunter. Thibaut wanted André to run beside the carriage, but Julia insisted he ride inside. Despite Hunter's careful driving, André got carsick and vomited into Hunter's suitcase. At Julia's house, André was smitten with Annelique, the gardener, while Thibaut tried to convince Julia he truly came from the past. André, meanwhile, explored the kitchen, eating dog food and touching every appliance. Julia assumed they had amnesia and agreed to help them find a wizard after a bath. While she and Hunter argued, Thibaut and André confused the toilet for a fountain, then poured every soap and lotion into the tub. André even drank perfume before Thibaut scolded him, "That's not wine, fool, it's oil for the back." Later, André answered a call from Amber, cursed at her, and threw the phone into the toilet. That evening, at a fancy restaurant, their medieval manners drew stares. André even ate food off the floor. When Hunter mentioned selling the family castle, Thibaut declared that only Malfait blood could decide its fate, making Julia realize Hunter had acted without her consent. Meanwhile, André caused chaos in the restroom, biting into chlorine tablets and stealing a chicken from the kitchen. Hunter paid for the damage, then accidentally ate a chlorine tablet André offered him, thinking it was candy. Back home, Thibaut and André smashed the TV, believing people were trapped inside, leaving Julia doubting her sanity. That night, the wizard arrived at the museum. The next morning, Thibaut woke Julia, eager to search for him. Outside, André saw Annelique being harassed and forced the man to kneel and kiss her feet until Thibaut and Julia intervened. Mistaking the man's tie emblem for a noble crest, Thibaut addressed him as a fellow lord. Terrified, the neighbor fled, while André awaited his punishment. And because Julia didn't let him hang himself, she allowed him to work for Annelique for a day. While they were out chatting, Annelique learned about the horrible conditions André had endured and told him not to worry. Slavery had long been outlawed in the United States. André showed her a treasure he'd stolen from Count Thibaut's medieval bedroom, which gave her an idea. Meanwhile, Julia and Thibaut went to the city, so Julia made a sticker with her phone number and stuck it on Thibaut's chest in case he got lost. When a thief stole her bag, Thibaut caught him and threw him onto a car, ready to cut off his hand, but Julia stopped him. While Julia distracted the crowd, Thibaut saw a woman in what looked like a witch's outfit and followed her, only to lose Julia. The woman told him she wasn't a witch, so he continued his search until he found a bar decorated like an old tavern. When he walked in and introduced himself, everyone laughed. One man mocked him by waving a QST stick, which Thibault sliced in half with his sword. Thirsty, he bought drinks for himself and everyone, instantly winning their favor. Meanwhile, the man bought new clothes, a suitcase, and toys from a shop, which he brought to his hotel. Julia was called to the museum, where she found a necklace that hadn't been there before, containing a message from the man revealing where he was staying. Hunter hired a private detective, giving him an empty perfume bottle with Thibault's fingerprints to confirm his identity. Just then, Julia called to say she'd lost Thibault but hung up when another call came through, from the bar, where people had found her sticker. When she arrived, they invited her to drink and sing. But when she mentioned the man, Thibault wanted to leave. Julia told him she had begun to believe his story, a big step for her. Together they went to the hotel and met the man, who promised the new potion would be ready by night. But when he tested it, his room exploded, only his shoes and hat remained. Meanwhile, Angelique taught André how to live as a free man. She took him downtown, sold a ruby from the stolen treasure, and went shopping and sightseeing. After getting new clothes and a meal, Angelique told him he deserved more than what his master allowed. Elsewhere, Thibault and Julia dined together. Julia promised to take good care of Thibault in this confusing modern world, and Thibault praised her courage, saying she had a lion's heart. Julia disagreed, saying she had a rabbit's heart. So Thibault took her outside and taught her swordsmanship in a junkyard. Nervous at first, she soon became confident. In another restaurant, Hunter and Amber dined, with Amber complaining about hiding their relationship. They decided to go dancing, ending up in the same bar where Angelique and André led a conga line. When the couples met, Hunter panicked and introduced Amber as his sister before leaving, not realizing Amber had dropped her purse, which André found. On their way home, Angelique encouraged André to quit and travel the world together. But when Thibault arrived, André grew nervous. Disappointed, Angelique left, feeling misled. André didn't know whom to choose. That night, Julia told Hunter that Thibault was special and that she decided to return his ancestral estate, making Hunter furious. At the hotel, police cleared the wrecked room and found the man's remains. When no one was looking, he reassembled himself. The next morning, the detective told Hunter Thibault wasn't the missing cousin, while the man appeared at Julia's house, setting up his potion in the kitchen with Julia's help. Meanwhile, Thibault searched for André, who finally said he didn't want to return. This angered Thibault, who still saw him as a servant. Julia intervened, saying the noblest act was to set him free. Thibault agreed. Before meeting Angelique, André gave Julia Amber's purse, which made her suspicious. Hunter didn't have a sister. Just then, Hunter arrived, and Thibault wanted to kill him for insulting Julia's honor. But Julia wanted to handle it herself. When Hunter accused Thibault of being a criminal after her money, Julia snapped that Hunter was the real one, then ended their relationship, removing her ring. Hunter taunted that she was a rabbit who couldn't live without him. Julia, now confident, told him she hated that he made her feel small, when she was a lion, smart and strong. She raised her sword, shouted, "Courage is my conviction," and struck him in the groin before kicking him out. At last, the potion was ready. They poured it into a bottle and prepared to leave, as it had to be drunk at the place they'd first arrived. But Hunter had called the police. The three fled, taking a taxi with police in pursuit. Julia paid the driver extra and promised to tell the judge he'd been a hostage, so he sped up, but got stuck in traffic. They escaped, stole police horses, rode through the city, jumped onto a train, and reached their destination just in time. At the medieval exhibition, Thibault told Julia he was proud of her and gave her a box containing his great-grandmother's hair. In return, Julia gave him a hairpin to gift the princess. When the police arrived, it was too late. Thibault and the man had already drunk the potion and returned to their time. The frozen banquet came back to life as Thibault kissed the princess. When it was time to toast, he offered the goblet to the Earl as a gesture of peace. The Earl fled out the window. Later, as Thibault and Rosalind walked together, he gave her the hairpin as a wedding gift, and they kissed. Back in the present, Hunter found the blender the man had used and drank from it, thinking it was a milkshake. Reading the spell aloud, he was suddenly transported to the past. A guard caught him, saying he'd make a fine servant, while peasants screamed at his phone. Days later, Julia went to the Malfa estate to manage it. She met the French lawyer overseeing the affairs, a handsome man genuinely interested in her family's history. They hit it off immediately. Meanwhile, Andre and Annalique were on the road in their new car, ready for a grand adventure in Las Vegas. And with that, the story ends.